Good morning, everyone. Alyssa Bakar, the Consultress, here to talk to you this morning about commercial lending for real estate investors. I have lived in a family business that invested in real estate since before I knew what investing in real estate was. My father came over for the American dream and immigrated from Italy when he was 8, learned the bagel business, and then built a retail business with those profits, with that dough. He invested in real estate. So he bought commercial properties and put in commercial tenants, as well as residential properties, and put in renters to rent out those properties as well. So part of my family's legacy is structuring business and investing in real estate. So it makes sense that after 20 years in my own career, after graduating Villanova University, I find myself in real estate sector and focusing specifically on the finance. I'll get to my background in a little bit, but just to color that in for you, I feel like I'm living my family's legacy and continuing on that tradition. So commercial lending really is all about helping real estate investors scale their business. So what do you think about when you think about investing in real estate? You think, let's go buy houses, right? Well, there's a little bit more to it than that. Yes, absolutely, you acquire the property, and there's a business structure around that. So I say it's go buy houses plus, and that plus is the bow that wraps around your strategy, what you buy, why you buy, and what returns you're looking for. This is something that typically when people think about investing in real estate, it's not the first thing on their mind, but it is the thing that helps people set themselves up for success. So what I call the plus is creating a part-time business that typically when people look at real estate investing, they want to build passive income and build their wealth long-term so that they are in the driver's seat when it comes to that quote unquote retirement. So part of what I consult on, not only to get the money piece going and get people set up with the loans that they need to acquire or cash out from those assets and use that money for other projects or other investments, is working on their business, not just in their business. How many of you have heard that phrase? Everybody's hand, right? Pansy's giving me the head nod. Yes. So when you work on your business, part of that is that plus. It looks very small, but it really is that foundation or the container within which you get to build your own success. So I like to say that it's setting up a repeatable system so that you can wash, rinse, and repeat. When you find what works and you know what works, or you leverage other people like Vince or myself or other professionals that, this real estate investing is a team sport. You can set up a system to be able to repeat that success and then bring it up to scale. And that's really where commercial lending comes in, because when people just start out, many times we start out with an income that we're making that qualifies us to borrow a certain amount and then go buy that second home or that vacation home or that next home that we move into, and then we rent out the one we just left. Right? This is how most real estate investors get started. And there's a cap to that. There's a certain amount of mortgages that someone can have that they personally qualify for based on their income. And that is usually about 40% of their income per year in mortgage payments. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. But why do people invest in real estate? Well, because it's one of the least volatile assets you can buy. It provides for cash flow. When you buy that asset and you rent it out, you're getting monthly payments that help you to pay down that mortgage that you got involved in. It creates that passive income. Also, it's one of the best hedges against inflation that there is, because you can hold the asset, and as time goes on, that asset will appreciate or adjust based on the new consumer price index, and so will the rents. So that's why a lot of investors come to me, because they are, looking to hedge that bet, but also scale their business. So I want to talk to you a little bit about commercial lending, because once you get up to those 4 or 5 or 6 mortgages, however many mortgages your income can hold, you hit a ceiling. As a real estate investor, you can only have a certain amount of debt based on you qualifying personally. And this is where I help investors to transition into the scalable business model using commercial funds, because you're buying these assets for the purpose of being in a business. You're buying these assets for the purpose of creating cash flow, for creating income. So while commercial products are a little bit more expensive in terms of rate than the owner-occupied products or the stuff that people qualify for based on their income, these loans are based on the asset's ability to create revenue. On the rent, let's just say we're buying a rental property and it rents out for $2,000 a month. That rental income is part of the more heavily weighted underwriting that helps a commercial loan to pass muster. And yes, it goes on the borrower's credit score, but also it is more heavily weighted in terms of qualifying the asset. So the borrower is the primary guarantor, but the commercial loan gets established in the name of a business. So this mortgage does not go against your income. It does not go on your DTI. It actually, when people refinance out of those into a commercial product, it bolsters up their bankability. So that's one of the key pieces when you're in a real estate, when you're a real estate investor, is being bankable. So commercial loans are from specialized banks that are specific to the asset that you're purchasing. It's not just your average bank that you're walking across on the sidewalk, like a Bank of America or a Chase. My job as a commercial loan broker is to know what institutions are here to be able to lend specifically to rental properties, to fix and flips and the like. Another way that people fund these deals is using private lending. Private money lenders are people who want to become the bank. Folks who have a pocket of cash, who want to deploy it and earn, thank you, Lauren, and earn that interest income without taking the risk of the project. So I help to match folks up that want to deploy their money and people who have the experience to mitigate that risk. So that's, my business is threefold. It's consulting on the business model, assigning the proper lender for the right deal, and also for those experienced investors, helping them get private capital and educating people on how to become a private money lender so they can get their money to work. And it's not just sitting on their couch eating Cheetos. That's all I've got for you today. I appreciate your time. And so I'm going to stop the screen share and stop the record and ask you if you have any questions.
I do.